Hi, and welcome to the second day of check-ins. I once again followed my meal plan perfectly, or close enough to be considered perfect for this situation. That's one thing that I did want to address for anyone who might want to follow this program. Don't get too held up on exact measurements. The way it's kind of designed is so that you can have a little bit of flexibility. Say, you don't have to measure out specifically, 1 tablespoon of this. As long as it's close to that, it's going to be okay. You're not going to be going crazy over your calorie limit or anything like that. So just be aware of that if you're going to be trying this, because just adding the stress of such perfection can be just too much to handle, and you get discouraged and more likely to stop the program. So just be aware of that if you're going to be trying this. Another thing I wanted to put out there about this diet is when you're on such a high calorie, high carb diet like I used to be. Hopefully that's going to be the term I'm going to use, not going to be going back on that anytime soon. But when you're on that kind of a diet, then you switch to this, you see some different effects. One thing that I did notice is that when I woke up this morning, it was almost like I had a hangover, because I was just pumping my body so full of readily available energy to use back when I was not caring about my diet, that waking up not having all that blood sugar available to me just kind of made me feel groggy and a little achy. So be aware that can happen if you go from a very high density calorie diet to something like this. Also, with the lower amount of carbs that are part of this program, you're going to see some drastic water weight loss from the get-go. So just as a heads up, this first weigh-in is probably going to be pretty drastic compared to my starting weight, considering it was 243 and I weighed myself today at like 238. So you're already dropping a significant amount of water. So don't be discouraged if the weeks after that aren't as consistent. And let's get into my exercise and my diet today. So for breakfast, I did a toasted piece of rye bread with some butter on it, and then 2 eggs that I put some spinach and onion in. Those vegetables weren't required, but I felt like spicing it up a little bit. And I ate a little one-sided sandwich sort of a thing. And I also had a clementine for the fruit. And then after the breakfast, the mid-morning snack was a cheese stick and a cup of strawberries. Then for lunch today, I did what was that? Lunch was a protein shake, and then it was a serving of hummus, and then just as many baby carrots as it took for me to finish off that hummus. Probably like half a bag of baby carrots, so definitely within my 2 fruit limit there. Then onto my mid-afternoon snack, I did a packet of tuna, put a little bit of hot sauce in there, mixed it up, and the starch was 10 wheat thins. 10 wheat thins equals 1 serving of that. So then onto my dinner, I did a can of tuna, which was 3 portions of it. Did a little bit of mayo for the fat. I put in some hot sauce for a little zing. Then I did some lettuce and some spinach for the vegetables, and then a 1/4 cup of cheese for the dairy. Mixed that all together. Pretty filling. I haven't eaten that much tuna in one sitting before, I gotta say. And the starch was another 10 wheat thins. So that was all well and good. Followed it pretty well. Not exactly like I said. It's not worth the stress to try to get super exact with each one of your portions. And on to exercise now. I got about 40 minutes in on the stationary recumbent bike. while watching the final episode of season 4 of The Magicians. It's a very emotional season finale. If you haven't watched the show, it's probably the best way to describe it is Harry Potter, but if it was a mature rated show. It's very unique. I would definitely recommend it if you are over the viewing age requirement, whatever that may be. But everything went well today, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll try to address it in my next video. And thank you for stopping by, and I will see you tomorrow.